Hello. I wasn't planning on being here at all. It was so hectic for the holidays that I just didn't have time to plan for a stream, think about streaming, and I was hoping I was going to get some, you know, time to work on some stuff. And I didn't. And so I was going to calmly just work on some level editing on my own. And I was going to post an update video for you. So I don't think this is necessarily going to be a long stream. But I got stuck. That's why I'm here. I got stuck, and in case somebody happens to know the answer that pops in, great. But who knows? Maybe you'll just hang out with me while I work on my level ed. Anyways. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be here today. I'm going to take a week off. Because I'll be in and out. But, we'll see. Move over my little screen here. So I was here's what I was doing. Now that I'm over here. I was working on this little map, doing some shading. So for people who were here last week, we started to work on some shading, but for some reason I started to get upset that I had to break the sectors and add more points, details, and I just didn't want to do it. I was being a little lazy. So I ended up just slapping down some sprites and calling it a day. And being like, that's the lighting now. I'm not happy with that. So I wanted to go back in and actually change it. So that's what I've been doing here. Where I'm putting in the actual sector shading. I'm just going through the extra little 5 minutes to put through that. And refining some things, but I'm running into an issue here. This is the issue. So let's go into the game. Here's little Duke in the game. Here's our old version, which is, I think, completely fine based on the fact that this current thing I'm trying to fix is not working. So right now it's almost just as good. But when you jump into this light area here, right? So we're going to jump into here. That's that parallax right there. Notice that like Duke is changing color. He's getting brighter because I'm in this brighter sector. If I go in this dark area, he goes darker. However, when I go in here, nothing. There is no change. If I go over here, he's glowing. He is changing. I think he is. Come here. Come here. Yeah, he's getting brighter too with the lighting as well. But he's not if I lure him over here. He's as if it was over here. And I could tell because this detailing here, I put no shade on him. It's the only downside for sectors. I'm getting this clippy here. But this isn't changing. And yeah, it's not being impacted by the shade either. I mean, I turned no shade off, so this would go with the shade. I don't know why my shading is not doing the lighting. Now, in 3D score before I started doing this, that he said maybe the palette of the sky, but it's at 0. I just didn't think the sky would impact people on the ground. If I wanted to go the extra mile, I could do some shadowing in the back. Anyways, that's what I'm stuck on. That's the only reason it popped up. It doesn't message video. I don't know what's going on. So I'll keep going, and maybe we'll just solve the answer, and I can go back and fix it. I think I might leave that. And stuff here. Brother. No. Do it. Wait. Brother. What are you doing? Oh. Oh, okay, never mind. Wait, wrong. Go away. Okay, 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 okay. So I want a point here, drag this out here, drag... This is where things get a little... Okay, this... no, I'm not using any custom textures. So this is only the stock stuff so far. We're only touching the stock stuff. There's a lot of situations where custom art would be cool, sure, 100%, and way easier. Like there's some stuff in here I'd like to add on the back wall. They have like the Babelicious logo, but I just don't want to. What it is I just don't want to learn something new already when I feel I haven't figured out the mapping portion yet. Like I just don't. I don't think I've mastered how mapping works. So for me to be like, okay, instead of solving how to maybe figure it out in the editor itself, let's just create a custom art to solve the problem of artistic design. I don't know. It feels like I'm going to cut it corners that way, even though it's going to be easier. And it's going to overwhelm me at the same time because I'm going to have to learn something new. I do kind of want to. That's when I start to get into heavy mod. Imagine my dream here is I'd love to do a remake or a revision or something where we redo the Starship Troopers total conversion. That's like one of my all-time childhood nostalgic feels in terms of mods. That was the first one I've ever played where I was like, whoa, these fans did. And even to this day, it kind of still impresses me, the ambition of it. But I think, especially with today's technology, but again, wanting in the building, love to do that. Then I'd go custom artwork, because some of the custom artwork in Starship Troopers TC also just doesn't melt well. It's like I have these nostalgic goggles of it, but some of it doesn't mesh as well with some of the stuff like that. Gone through another phase, pass, if you will. Oh. Cool. Okay. So now let's try. What was the lighting I did here? I did 0, 5, 0, 5. This stuff, it doesn't matter. Let's see. It's hard to get a good texture from Basic Atomic Edition, but no big. I will agree that depending on what you're doing, I think it's different if maybe. So far, the way I've kind of gone through things is when I'm trying to build something, I have a good idea of a lot of common textures. What I feel is common textures, like this texture right here. I know there was a brick wall, so I'll kind of have a vague idea of some textures that exist. So when I'm looking at things I'm trying to build, I have those in mind. But even in this, there were certain things that I thought would work almost one-to-one, and I didn't. Like, I didn't have something that matched the exact idea of this. If I were just to use the textures, I think I could keep bending it more by doing the texture shapes. So that's what I was working on with this weird little the middle map that called the middle map. Where I'm just morphing textures around in this little hallway I posted, because I'm trying to find other ways to make new textures in air quotes using the stock assets and just geometry instead, which is just a fun challenge, but it also makes things 10 times harder sometimes than if you just had a custom texture or art asset that would have filled that gap. Like here, what I'm trying to go for, and I still don't think this works, is just like a wall that has some kind of imprint in the middle, which Duke kind of has. It's just it's not giving me the right feel, like the actual feel of the material itself. So I might have something that has like a boxy shape, sometimes like the tiles, which I kind of would work here. I don't know if I'm describing this right, but the material that it's made out of doesn't feel right for a wall, or it doesn't sometimes feel right for a floor or ceiling. That's just me. But looking at some of the, like that total conversion that somebody's doing, or episode for Duke Nukem 3D, that looks amazing using custom artwork. And WG, his work uses a ton of stock assets mixed with custom artwork, also looks great. So when I'm always like talking about on streams a lot, where I'm like, I'm sticking to stock assets, it's not like I'm a purist. I'm definitely okay with custom artwork, and I actually think that works well, and in fact better most of the time. Just keep in mind, it's like Duke Nukem 3D was designed for the art assets it made. But you can also, sorry, actually rephrase. You can it also just depends on what you're trying to make. Like if you're trying to make something that feels like a Duke Nukem 3D episode, like this could be released on a shelf. That's always kind of maybe how I think about some Duke Nukem stuff. Then sticking with the stock just helps make it coherent. There's also an issue that some textures are a bit noisy or don't look well with palettes applied. 100% agreed. Like, especially with this palette, is it 7? No, not this one. This one, palette 7. That yellow one, whoo-wee, it can have some tough time for some textures. This one barely does a lot of changes with shades, but then there's some of them that, yeah, they get that weird noisiness. I don't hate this for like a weird train track, actually. That was accidental, but I would keep that in mind. See, this is the only downside. Like, I was thinking about remaking this car because this is just a prop I made from something else that I wanted to use it as a placeholder. But I keep thinking about just remaking it. But then I thought I could use this as like a Sam Raimi car where it's just in every level they make as a kind of mod. I don't hate that idea either, but texturing. This is a lot of some textures. I built this very poorly. Like it looks cool, but like in terms of how I designed this, it's not. There's probably a more streamlined way I could do this. Oh, I don't really want to mess with the lighting too much. I think I might want to use the before we were doing this, we were using this instead of actual doing lighting. Vehicles can be fun. There's enough hard parts in the game where it kind of works. You can go a little wild and have fun with a lot of the cars. Feel about this. Yeah, that works. That works. I really wish I could figure out why this isn't changing the lighting though. Changing the lighting, that's frustrating me. Making me sad. So what's the point of all this work and effort if you're not gonna change the lighting? Because that's the atmosphere to me. This guy's coming at you, he's getting lighter. Is it just because this place isn't dark enough? Am I? Because this is changing to sprite 0. I mean shade 0, and this is changing this sprite's just fine. And this right in the middle of these guys is shade 0. You should be changing my shade. You should be shading all night.
Hail to the king, baby.
So what's going on here? What's going on in the shadiness? The shadiness. I have to figure it out. We'll keep carrying on. We'll do these ones. And once we do these ones, I'm thinking what I'll probably end up doing is start refining this little secret area. Maybe doing some ironing of the textures. I'm not sure where else I need to put lighting in here. Maybe we'll have some stuff from the signs, like these. Maybe illuminate. I'm not sure yet. I think some of these beyond. If the actual PS1 level is just a total mess with lighting. It's kind of like a kaleidoscope effect when you really look at it. There's no source of lights anywhere, which, to be fair, I think I even mentioned would work great for probably most with the weird atmospheric lighting they did, like World Tour-esque. That would fit this 100% if we were trying to do a PS1 copy, because it's just a mass of random colors. But what I'm not happy with Over here, we'll do this guy. Oh, shoot. That's another reason I've been probably dreading doing the lighting in here is because of how much it changes the walls sometimes. Like it messes up all the texturing. You have to redo it. And half the time it's like, oh, I'm happy with the texturing where it's at. I don't want it to break it, so I have to figure out how to rebuild everything. But then again, that's my fault in how I'm processing. Sometimes I'm getting too far ahead in maybe this stuff, the design work, and not thinking about how I'm going to do the lighting. Oh, I got to change these guys too. Been changing the shading on these poles so that it's kind of like lighter over here. Actually make it a little brighter. Let's change. Let's do 5 here. Do 10s. That's fine. That's fine. Those things that nobody's gonna notice. I'm watching, is it called Any Austin, where he does those weird videos breaking down the economy of Skyrim places or unremarkable places in video games, things like that. And how it's like paying attention to all these little tiny areas that level designers will put a lot of detail in or a lot of care in that nobody will probably notice. Like most players will pass it, or in this case, most players won't even pass it. But I do like that. I think it does help sell the immersion as a whole. Not talking about necessarily this. No, I'm kind of bringing it up because I'm doing level painting here. Yeah, let's do 12. Let's do 12 on the back. It looks a little sharper. Oh yeah, that's the biggest problem I have is doing a ton of little tiny things, really getting lost in the sauce, and it's stuff that I can do like fairly quickly sometimes, but maybe it's because it's a meditative experience for me. It's kind of what I did to relax. I can definitely see getting lost in the sauce. I think it would be different if somebody was paying me to do this. On this app, we started this, I want to say, maybe in October or maybe September. And I only worked on it a couple hours every Saturday when I was streaming, because we usually do the Let's Play parts first, and then I'll do some level editing. So this specific map, we probably spent maybe like 12 hours on, if I look at just the level editing portion stuff. So granted, if I actually did the calculation, it could be longer. It definitely could. My time acknowledgement is very, very bad. Because there's a lot of that time, really. If you go back and look at it, it's just me staring at, like, I'll be doing this. It'll be just staring at a wall for a while. And in my mind, I'm thinking about, how am I going to do this, right? Because, like, we wanted a parking garage. We wanted it to look like the PS1 copy somewhat. We know we have stock assets only. So how are we going to do that? Okay, well, so we know we have this rubble thing here. So if we, like, this sprite, we know we have this, so that's kind of like a car park. It's got the pillars, it's got the empty spaces we want, but the problem is we don't want rubble. This isn't a destroyed one, so now what do we got to do? Well, we got to cover it up. Okay, well, there's barriers, so we'll use this weird little grate texture we used for this grate over here that we're using for sidewalk grates or whatever, and we'll stretch that. Okay, but we still need to cover some stuff up. So now realistically, this pillar, which we wanted to use for a pillar, we're no longer using as a pillar. We've now flipped it, and it's actually the floor being really, really squished. So the original reason we use this texture isn't even the reason we ended up using it. We ended up flipping it, using it completely different, cutting it off, using this as a pillar instead, using these weird little inlets to make it give depth in my mind at least, so that it looks like things are sticking out, and boom, you get a flat building that looks like the PS1 parking garage. But a lot of that was just me doing this. Not making any changes, just like walking back and forth and staring at things. Just in my mind, trying to think how I'm going to do this with what we have. So, things I think would go a lot smoother if this was already designed. Like, if somebody came to me with an idea inspired by the art that was already in the game, maybe some concept art, maybe things would be, but I kind of have to figure that out on my own, which is part of the fun. Now if you look at it, it's like, if I look at it in the editor, it's a stack of sprites mixed with a bunch of different little sectors. So you got little sectors for the pillars. So that's the thing, is like, I would do this in I've mentioned this on stream too, where like I would do this whole parking garage completely differently if I just wanted to build a parking garage. So if I just wanted to put a parking garage in an actual map, I would either design it to be like a chore building, so you'd be able to go on top of everything. Or if it's not really a big focus, maybe you do some sprite buildings instead. Even if you just wanted this to be maybe a visual, I could still do this out of sprites. But so I'm gonna break right here. There. I could still do sprites, but it would have more depth. You'd be able to see inside of it. But because we're trying to make something else, you gotta think about it like a different problem. Which was fun. That was fun. That is partially why I wanted to do this, because I thought it would be a fun little challenge. And then somebody came and was like, somebody already did it. I'm gonna crush my dreams. But didn't. Because the version at least I saw looks like it was made for Duke Plus. I'm kind of interested in playing it though. I want to see what they did with it. did I have? These are all 10, and then this is 8, yeah. Eight. This is 10. That's gonna change. I'm slightly scared because I did this in a weird way. I wasn't being very smart with sector hierarchy when I was building some of these shading bits. So hopefully it's not gonna break anything. I'm also a little scared because I've been testing this in full screen. I just think it looks fun for screenshots. But what'll happen when I use widescreen? Textures are already starting to break up here. Sucks. Okay, let's see. Feel about this. Feel about this. This one just changed. It just changed the light. But this one is not. This one did. Why is it going on here? What is going on here? What is happening? Why is this? There's something here blocking me. Fix that. Why is this changing the light on here, but not this? This is okay, but this is not. This is okay, but this is not. Or some form of lies. Come out here for science, pig. Come here. Yeah. Stop shooting me. Okay, no, come here. Now walk into the street. See darkness, darkness. Come into the light. Into the light, little pig. Nothing, nothing, nothing. But then light. What is happening? What is happening here?
Come get
Oh my
some.
god. Sad. Sad that's not working out. I also gotta redo this guy. Not happy with that. Go fix this block here. Blocking me. This. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. There's a weird block in here too, but got the block here gone. Wish I. Like, I want you to be light right here. Do your job. Not on the sidewalk, though. That is also where I would like some light. Most like it here. Otherwise, I think it's working. I think it's adding the moodiness that we want. Maybe we'll darken up this guy. Well, the original, like, this is gonna be bright because these lights are get broken. Anywho. Supposed to be walk in here. Fix that. And we'll make this interactable. Mm-hmm. This looks like it got broken. Something here has broke. There's supposed to be more of you, I'm pretty sure. Can't have anything nice. Can't have anything nice, you know? Gotta definitely do the light. Too bright in here, too bright in here. Fix this guy. Gotta figure out how to make this switch not work until we turn the power on. Maybe redo some of that. This is gonna be... I think this is gonna be okay to redo. Because now that I understand how it's built, and I can mess with this little inside sector to kind of make this look more like a train. So we're good here. This is some rubble piles. Power room. It starts to go in the back here. Tunnel somewhere over here. Goes out that way. Sewer system. Try to tie in. You know what? I'm gonna grab this. I'm not actually in the editor right now. I'm gonna grab this texture. I wanna test something. Go into here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. And CK3D said we could do a texture thing. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. So we got 2 lines. Sorry, I'm drawing a little design here. Yeah, I saw somebody. I forgot what Saturday. Yeah, well, granted, I also posted. That's a cool hole in the wall. Yeah, I stole that from somebody else. Somebody else did that once, and I thought that was a cool idea. It adds some depth to it, some thickness. So now we're gonna do a little miniature version here. Fire extinguisher. That's a good start. That is a good start. This was my first more. I shouldn't say that. I did a test thing in another map. Okay, now to make the shape that I want. So this. This. Stealing and duplicating is a great thing. As long as you're not actually just copying in terms of like going into the editor. Copying it. Don't do that. Unless you ask. Okay. Could be bigger. So here. Okay. Do is this one. Yeah. And we can do a sector effector that should get activated from the explosion, I believe. And then that would turn on when you blow up this. Hopefully, if I got instructions I was given correctly. So, let me quickly do some reading here. Oh, wait. Sector activate. There. Refuse to take the floor shade of the rooms and hallways that enter, but only in our first map and only affect areas within this map. There also one or two spots on the map. What caused? Hey, High Treason. Have you run into this? So here's what we're running into. So we're doing this. This is the only reason I actually started streaming, is in case somebody happens to know what they're talking about, pops in, and has an idea. Okay, so I am going to turn off monsters. I am standing in this lovely beam of light that is the Babylicious. And it's making me light up because we're in a spot that is lighting up. It makes sense. But then I go into my street lights here that I've decided to not make sprites and actually make sector lighting. And I am the same shade no matter what. Unless I go on the sidewalk here, then I get brighter. Darker, brighter, darker, brighter. I can't figure out what's going on here. Why doesn't it like me? What's going on here? Why am I getting brighter on the sidewalk? And not... Am I taking crazy pills? Because that's upsetting me greatly, because what's the point of doing the lighting if the lighting isn't going to do what it's supposed to do? If a sector has a parallax ceiling, then I'm fairly sure the shadow of that ceiling or face sprites the sky, I think. But the sky, well, I guess I'll check over those areas, but I'm pretty sure the sky is all palette 0, like shade 0. Are you thinking it's just because the palette? But this has the same palette. That's what's throwing me off. Because this is the same. It's not like the ceiling is changing. I'm saying if I like changed. Whoa. Let's not start to go crazy and change everything. I'll keep going to the lighting. We'll do the lighting. You can read both at once. I will be honest, I never use that. So we're going to here, we go to F7. Okay, I'm looking at this. What's important? Because everything I hear is shade 0. Ceiling, shade 0. Shade 0. Everything is shade 0. This one does have a different shade for the ceiling. Interesting. Okay, maybe that's painful. Why does the shading of the ceiling have anything to do with the shading of the floor? Who programmed that? Probably like some very I wasn't thinking the cycler would change the sky. This is nothing I never considered to have to think about the sky. I can't imagine. Okay. That was that one, right? And this one is 8. This one is 8. This one. Not 85. 5. Make sure all this stuff is 10. And 10. I'll do this whole section before I try it out. Stuff 10. 8. Oops. Seven, 8, 8, 7, 38, 7, 6. Okay. Oh, I don't like it. 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 It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Oh, that's gross. I don't like it. We solved that problem. We did. We solved that problem, but it's not. But strangely enough, this is not. I guess I just have to change that. Okay, so some of this seems fine. This actually seems kind of fine. Around the lights. So we fixed the lights. It's just I have to do that for everything? Is there... Oh, no, I couldn't because they all have to have different shade values. I know how to fix it. That's the good thing. The bad thing is, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of stuff I have to manually edit out to fix. Like, how could I have planned ahead for this to try to make my life easier, I guess? I guess I could have just not touched the ceiling at all. I should have not parallaxed the sky at all until the very, very end. And then maybe messed with the shades that way. Either way, like, it's fixable. Just a sad panda, guys. Just wasn't expecting to have to do all that manually. So I gotta do some manual edits. Manual edits.
Eat shit and die.
Don't cry. My domain. I really, cause there's not, I don't know. I just really like the, I always love the visual of when you're walking under a street light that it lights up. Right? So I just, because otherwise, what I was doing before was obviously quicker and uglier, but like that's all I was doing before. I'm like, there, that's my lighting sprite on the floor. Which I don't think is a terrible solution, but it's also not a light. It's not acting as a light. I felt that it was necessary to put a little light there. So I'll fix this. I'm actually still pretty happy with how this worked out. Like, I was gonna do something way more complicated, and it was gonna just look just as derpy as this. Maybe more accurate to the original, but I'm going to do some slight changes to the base, really. Pretty up that. Clean up this a little bit. Because I can make it interact or join a little bit better here. Gotta get rid of these columns. Hello. Column. If I get adventurous, I might make these light sources as well, because I'm pretty sure they are. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just grit our teeth and bear. I don't like this one, actually. There's a faint version. So for that one, I might do a tenor. And the sky problem is something that happened in my very, and I'm not sure if it's any help, but Alt plus C trick might work. I guess we could. So we had to do this because it turns out that the sky was impacting my little light sources here. So, hey, come here. I want to see how you guys look, because you're really the impact. I want these guys to come in to the light, yeah, and get brighter. Are you getting brighter? I can't tell. I don't think you are now. What about here? Can you come here? Can you come over here? That, you definitely brighter there. Definitely brighter there. Yeah, the darker here. Really bright. It's not as noticeable. Maybe I'm nitpicking over nothing here. Noticeable Duke. Here for sure. Maybe it's just because it's not super bright everywhere. Maybe I'll change this. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So you're thinking... Oh, let's try this. Let's save first. You're thinking... Alt plus C. C. Nope. Well, I've been pasting it for sure. Like, I know I can copy and paste, but the issue is... Let's see. Okay, we're on the right track either way. I might actually do this. Let's try something different. I don't know if this is going to make a big difference. Seven. Just make the whole ceiling a drawer layer. Oh god, that would be such an easy solution, wouldn't it? That would be such an easy solution. It's just there's not even going to be a ton of lighting down here. It's just so like the fact that I'd think about just drawing this up. There's some extra stuff that I could do with a drawer layer. Make these stick out a little bit more. But let's try this. I just want to see how this technique works. So I'm doing shade by 5. I think what I want to do is I want to do shade 0 for in the middle, 2 rows, and I kind of see an advantage to this as well. Like, I would have so much finesse over this, even though it's a lot more labor intensive. But get more control over it. Double checking. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one too. We're gonna do happy with the I also never use this F7 editor like this. I never use this. So I think it's probably a good idea for me to at least use it so I can understand its functionalities a little better. These guys are good. I'm pretty sure I got all this stuff well. Change this to 5 as well. I don't have to go this hard on this. I'm going to do this for the sake of columns. I don't know if it's going to matter, so we're gonna do it. At least if this is, so far this seems to be the problem that I was fixing, I can at least avoid it moving forward. I hopefully pretty easily. So now I know what I'm looking for. So Had a tasty Christmas, that's for sure. I went to my uncle's and he hasn't made his dinner or anything, so this is the first time I've tried his cooking there. It was pretty good. It's different from what we had before, but like same thing. Of many people, just at least in North America, consider it. Just a slightly different flavoring. It was good. Good. I mentioned that one of the reasons I intentionally said I was not streaming today, and hello, hi everybody, here I am, was because the Christmas season, even though I have a little bit of time off for it, you're busy rushing so much that it never feels like you have time off. So I was like, I need another week, at least with something not scheduled. So even though I'm here streaming, I didn't feel the pressure of I gotta have to do it at the same time. And all that fun stuff. This is 10. Cool, I'm happy with that. So the banding here, how do we fix this? We're gonna do this. 5. Yes. 5. 7. F7 shade. And then F7. Okay. Seven. Shade. 10. We'll leave that as is. F7. All right. How is our banding doing? Our little columns. Okay, so this little fuck right here. God, that's so stupid. I'm so angry that the shade of the sky impacts the shade on the ground. Like it's such a silly little thing. It's such a silly little thing. Because like what this area is bright. I don't want Duke to get. What is up with this banding here? What is this banding? Like, where are you coming from? Okay. Now, what problems has this introduced? Because if it's a shortcut... Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal here. The problem is it's taking... It's the shade that I don't want it to... Like, I like... It's okay here. Like, it's okay here. I'm gonna block this off. It's lighting up here, so that's good. It's lighting up here. That's what I want. It's lighting up here, which is good. And then you get here, and I hate myself. Because this is supposed to be bright. But the moment I do that, I gotta get banding. Yeah, then you get banding. Column stuff. Which maybe I shouldn't care about so much if it was just in that sector. Maybe I just have to live with it. Maybe not change the sector brightness. But I want the Duke to change colors. Like, I want him to. It's a good band name. Otherwise, I think the moodiness that I'm after is there, right? I think we got. Maybe I just don't care. Just don't fucking care. Just I wish I could figure it out. And yes, I could just do a chore layer, but it seems like such. It's like it's a solution, but it's like a nuclear solution to me. It's so overkill for such a simple thing. Like this shouldn't be like that. I know I'm complaining about an engine that's like 500 years old at this point, but... But what's weird is maybe it's just not as noticeable. It's like this has a different shade, I'm pretty sure. But it looks seamless, like I can't tell. But then if I change it here, it does. Well, in a perfect world, I would just want the sky to be the same shade. But if I make the sky the same shade, all of a sudden now the floor shading doesn't work. That's what's so frustrating to me is why can't I hate how it's somehow connected. Because it doesn't make sense to me why it even is connected. Or if you, to me, if you hit parallax, maybe that there it doesn't have a shade. I do that. If this matters at all. I have an idea. I'm gonna leave that for now, but I might do something else. But I think that kind of works. Discovered they have their own YouTube channel. Discovered every episode is on there for free plus permanently streaming. We are blessed. That's pretty cool, actually. I do like that. I think this is a weird, obscure one, so it's not like everyone's rushing to find it. But I know that Tremors TV series is available online on the official Tremors YouTube channel. Watch the whole series in all its glory. But Farscape was one that was like kind of hard to get for a while because I don't know where it's streaming now. I think maybe on Disney or something. But like for a period of time, I couldn't find it, at least in Canada, anywhere to stream regularly. It kept going on and off certain things, and then they wouldn't have like the Peacekeeper Wars, for example. So you just have that. I still haven't fully seen Farscape. I've seen a large chunk of it. So like I went and bought the Blu-ray set that has the complete series plus the movie, and it's still on my list of things to finally finish watching. I think this is okay because like this is supposed to be bright. We'll keep that there. I'm gonna live with it. Someone's anyways, but not really. YouTube. seriously. Metaphorically. But it seems like the column issue is really just for the outside, where you were getting it really bad. So technically, if I actually put a little lip on this, I bet, like a little, and did that without doing a chore. If I didn't want to do a chore, I could make this all consistent. So that's something I'm keeping in my back pocket. It just feels like an unnecessary step at this stage in the process. So
Hail to the king, baby.
I'm not gonna do it yet. I just wanted to get some lighting here. It's working. I figured out this stuff too. This was all one solid color because I forgot what I was doing. Like that. Well, I will say, if that was your interpretation phonetically of the Farscape theme, I know what you're talking about. But it's so, like, you instantly know what it is. If you know Farscape and you hear that, that's a like, nothing, I can't think of anything else that sounds like that Farscape. Okay, so we got, this one's done. Ooh, telling me you don't have any lights. Okay, so we got to fix the lighting on this one. Do the lighting here, do the lighting here. And then the poles are done, and then it's just figuring out where else we want some illumination. So this, I think we'll put like a little light here. This for sure, we need to add some physical. This is where we start to get into how much do we change? Because again, in the original game, the light sources, they have light posts. I'll just show you guys. I'll just show you guys. There's a large period of my life where I was like watching bits and pieces of Farscape, and it was around the same time as Lex. If anyone's ever seen a TV show called Lex, it could probably be. Where I'm like, what are these weird Star Trek ripoffs? But I love I love Pilot. He's so cool. He's a great puppet. They got some great puppets. I love Rigel. He's ridiculous. So they're like those kind of weird sci-fi TV shows. They felt like knockoffs, but then if you do watch them, there is a little bit more. I don't know about Lex for sure. I just remember Lex has a really cool, stupid dragonfly. That's the only thing I can genuinely say I like. But I like the head robot too. Lex. Where it's got its eyes and mouth are little view screens. I just remember, at least as a younger person, I'm like, man, Farscape, Lex, feels like Star Trek, just hornier. That's all I was trying to be. What am I doing here? I'm opening up this. I'm opening up this. This. Slapping on this. Star Trek, but Australian and horny. Never seen Lex, don't know anything about the show. Don't even again, it was made here in Canada. It was weird. It's and like it's very like it was the equivalent of PG-13 softcore porn but sci-fi, where like there's a life form, I forget why she is, but she's basically an alien that's bred to be a prostitute almost, and to be like the sexual gratification. And then there's this weird dark brooding guy who has almost no emotions, kind of like a Spock type character. And is it Felix Twiddle? They're the main character as the pilot. He's just like a weird sniveling little mouse man. Like, he's not a good lead, but that's intentional. It's just weird. It's just a bunch of weird characters on a ship doing weird things, but it's always involved. Everyone is horny, but no one can actually have sex because it is 1990s cable television. Even if it's late night, nothing can actually happen. So everything's always just implied overly sexual. Anyways, so here's the original. I'm gonna let's make this big. I'm gonna hide this in a minute. So first off, here's the lighting I'm talking about, where none of the light sources really make sense. They do very much world tour style lighting, where there's just splotches of color lighting in areas, which makes any true lighting make no sense. Like, I guess maybe you can argue the yellow lights here are causing this yellowish glow. Maybe. But when you go into things like, so the subway, it's like, I don't think there's any lights at all, right? It's just random balls of light, which is, it sucks because I'm trying to make something that's kind of one-to-one for this almost, but at the same time it feels so weird running through a first-person area and there's like light sources that have no lights that aren't broken, or lights coming out of nothing. So I have to make some changes here in that aspect. Anyways, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think I've ever actually watched Red Dwarf. I think the only thing I know about Red Dwarf is just that guy being in Robot Wars or BattleBots. I feel like they keep changing the name, or maybe they're different shows, but remember he was the host. That's how I knew him. And that was the reason I tried watching Red Dwarf once, and then I don't think I understood. The PS1. Is it true that this game isn't the build engine, but they made it look like the build engine? Nukem textures? No, but I think what you are referring to is Duke Nukem 0 Hour, which is also a third-person shooter. That is on the N64, and that uses the build engine. But Duke Nukem Time to Kill does not. Duke Nukem Time to Kill does use something different. But it wouldn't shock me if the textures were reused in Duke Nukem Time to Kill. Anyways, I was going to do an activator spray to do the light in the other thing. Okay, so here, let's crack open. Let's do this real quick, because I think this would be just a really cool effect to pull off. Activator explosion. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I do want to try. That Red Nukem is throw the ROM for Duke 64 in it. See how that works. Okay, let's activator. Activator. The activator is used to activate any sector effects when its matches tag. Low tag is called. Primarily, it is include doors and switches. I want it to trigger a light. That I yes. Just need to figure out how. I'm on the wiki. Sorry, it's not visually exciting for you guys. Well, Duke 64, they did like this weird remix where they like chopped up some levels to remove some stuff because of Nintendo's censorship, and then they inserted like different areas. Like the level 2 has Duke Burger in it instead of the corn shop. Yeah, so it's cool. Like, I'm not saying they're good by any means, but like I like when a port does something slightly different, so it's not just a straight port. Like if you're going to move something, add something new to it, or do something different. In a perfect world, I'd also like all of those to be options. But like I like that, hey, N64 got its own unique version of Duke 64. In a way, so did the PlayStation with that new episode. My only complaint is that episode. I feel like that port. I wonder what would happen in a different world where Duke Nukem PS1 Total Meltdown port was given maybe an extra 6 months to a year of development time. Would the last new episode be dramatically different? Because they did say they were under a lot of pressure to get that done in time. Activator. Is there not a bigger section on activators? It's like activator. It activates. I know it does that. I think there should be. Create the sector which you will be affected by the light. The shade and pallor of the sector will show when the light is off. The pallor will only show if the light is initially off and will be disabled. After the effect is toggled, place an S channel and use the palette of the S. Determine these. Just has the light switch. See, I don't want a light switch, but I do want an activator. References. time delay ability only once after turbo. Okay, like I kind of want like I feel like this is either an activator. Explosion wall. So, event damage wall. The event is triggered at whatever wall is hit by weapon. Let's talk. Let's see. This fellows that light up when a door is open, so the light would come in the door, struck the door in sector. Door in the sector that you want. Up, change the shade of each sector effect. Okay. And I don't want that. Shade of all walls, give each sector. I don't know if that's what I'm after. What I would do is light switch. Okay. 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 gonna try something here. Okay, ETH Duke 32 scripted. So what I want to do is I'm gonna do maybe should I place one sector effector sprite in the door? Each sector that you want to light up. Okay, so we're gonna try this. Sector effector, go over here, over here. Sector effector sprite, copy. What do you want? Okay. Sector. Wall high take of warning. I don't know if that matters. Let's see here. Make the door 020. I think the thing about source ports is there's just supposed to be ease of access. There's as time goes on, I'm gonna need it. Can't figure. 2 rooms and join the vagina. Make the door. Sector effector, lower the ceiling. Open. Now you can fine tune and test the effects in the game. Door. Let's see. I feel like I'm doing something. We want sector effector. rising door lights. So we want it to be 0. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Load tag of 20. That's what I was supposed to do. Okay. So now it's working. Ish. We just need to make it so that the door activates when this is blown up. Now, do I know how to do that? So let's do... I'll do an activator here. Well, even if the crack can't, could I not do something inside? Could I not tie the activator to something else? What can I link an activator to? Right? Because my thought process is I want to blow up this, so then that would trigger this door open, and thus triggering the lighting effect here. she? S activates sector low tags. Okay, well, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. We'll go back to the top and we'll finish the lighting at least. For these two badasses. Ed right here. I can't help you there either. I'm not very good at that stuff. I have to read a tutorial almost every single time I go to do something still because I don't remember what things are. Let's lock this. Let's just do okay. guy. Guys, it's 5. What? Oh, here 2. Sure. Should just check this one right here. I don't know if any of this matters, but we're just going to change this as well. This guy right now, might as well. That's yeah. One here. Sure. Give it a go. Give it a little test. Give it a little run. We're looking pretty fine, I think. Pretty fine. Got the lighting that I wanted, where things are lighting up. That one's messed up. Yeah. That's pretty good, pretty good. We're trying to get lighting down. Stay right there. Fix that. Oh, gotta add shading to these. Oh. It's the dream. did you want to start with dolls or something? Because good games already. Got me there. Painting light post. Light posts, they light up. But that's more complicated to get done, so that was my entire morning. Anyways, I wasn't gonna stream. I just need your guys' help. You helped me. You accomplished the goal of figuring out why my lighting up here wasn't working. So now I know. Hate it. But in terms of what it meant, it just means more things I have to remember do for little incremental changes for outdoor areas. Which is okay. For future me, it just means I'd plan things out a little differently when designing stuff. Just, you know, doing the backtracking changes is a little difficult. I'm gonna spend some time watching some tutorials here.
Come get some.
See what I can do with activators though, because like I really would like to get that. Would really like to get that. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what? Yeah, it took me a little while to make that thing. But it's in the PS1 original, so we had to make a little prop for it. So Sorry, I just saw something weird here, and I just want to make sure I'm checking. Gotta put a little invisible ledge on there so that you can grab the goggles. Okay, so, hey guys, explain this for me, please. Here's my thing. Here's the thing. Right? We wanted the light to turn on. The light's on. Why is it working? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It's doing what I wanted it to, though. Yeah, so I had to make a little ledge, make the ledge invisible, and so then that way it would stick on there. But I didn't do anything. Like, yeah, I put the sector infector in there, but, like, why? I don't know what's triggering the door. Because the door's not even triggered here. It doesn't seem to care. So I didn't need to do activators at all. This shouldn't work in my brain. Yet here we are. Cool. But the door's not even open. So the door hasn't triggered. It must be. I don't think I connected anything here. Let me look in the editor. Okay. It is. Let me delete the activator, though. I didn't do anything with this. I just want to see if I delete the activator. Then I go in. Will it still work? I'm not even going to question it right now. I'm just going to accept that as a good reality. Good solid victory for mankind. Now I'm going to do something K3D wanted me to do, so God, just don't tell me to replicate that ever again, because I couldn't. Can you clip it? Yeah, I can do that. But it's not doing anything. Here, we'll do this. Fine. Okay, so here's our door right here. So here's our door. I'm not going to activate it. So I'm not going to trigger this at all. It's just an innocent door. And here we go here. I'm gonna blow it up. Now we're gonna go over there. It's still an innocent door. It hasn't done anything. It hasn't opened. I'm not gonna question it. This is reality I don't understand. But we're going to accept that it worked now. And if someone were to put a gun to my head and be like, how did that happen, Devin? So what we're doing is this. We're just gonna move this by 2. Oops. Okay. Okay, I gotta fix the height on these guys. Got a little messed up. But you're okay, bud. That's what we care about. Boom. That's okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I think we're happy with the results here. So now this merges up nicely. So you get the a nice little sector over sector effect here. No Tror required. We solved the sky for the most part. I'm not 100% happy with this, but I think I also might have a fix for this as well. Hey, can you do me a favor and actually fall down this hole? I kind of want to see what you look like when you're down there. Well, okay, there we go. Done. I'm done now. There's a bunch of stuff I still want to work on, but I'm probably going to do that off stream. So even though I said I wasn't going to stream today, here I am. Look at that. So yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody. I wasn't planning on being here, but I'm here regardless, and it was fun. Glad I came. Glad I showed up. Joined my little lighting journey. We discovered some new things together. I don't think we can ever recreate whatever we did to make that work, but got it working, and I'm happy about that. So I hope you are all happy too. See in 2025. I was like, what? Yes, you're right. You will see me in 2025. I'll post an update video because I'm going to work on this either more today or tomorrow. And so I'll do just a general overview of whatever level progress we do get done and get that posted for you guys. And then we'll start 2025 with a bang. I have some channel updates I'm going to do. Nothing like formatting wise, but just some ironing out some transitions, maybe some things to make it seem more, I don't know, professional in a way. It's been on my to-do list, so I think I'll just start getting that done in 2025. Basically little shortcuts for myself, which will make it look nicer for you guys when switching scenes, easier for me. So I'll have a keyboard shortcut. So change some of that. There's some other things I want to get done. But yeah, 2025. See y'all. 25, y'all. Next week.